Have you ever found yourself making a snap judgment only to regret it later? Or perhaps you've been persuaded by a marketing campaign that seemed too good to be true. If so, then you've encountered the two systems that govern our thinking, System 1 and System 2. Hey, and welcome to my channel, book lovers and fact enthusiasts. In this video, we'll be diving into the world of cognitive psychology, exploring one of the most groundbreaking books of our time, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. System 1 is our intuitive, emotional brain. It's the one that makes snap judgments, jumps to conclusions, and relies on heuristics, shortcuts to save time and energy. This system is incredibly powerful, and it's often our first line of defense when faced with a challenge. Now, System 2 is our slow, rational, and deliberate brain. It's the one that takes time to weigh the pros and cons, consider all possibilities, and make logical decisions. His system is more powerful in some areas, but it's also more demanding and requires more resources. The problem is that System 1 often runs on autopilot, making decisions without consulting System 2. This can lead to all sorts of biases and errors in judgment. For example, System 1 is more likely to fall for the sunk cost fallacy, where we continue investing in a losing proposition because we've already invested so much time or money. In his book, Kahneman explores these biases and errors in detail, showing how they can affect our decisions in our personal lives, our careers, and even our society as a whole. He argues that by understanding how our brains work, we can become more aware of these biases and make more rational decisions. Now, let's take a look at some real-world examples of how our biases can lead us astray. Have you ever noticed how we tend to focus on negative news and events? This is called negativity bias, and it can make us feel more anxious and pessimistic than is necessary. Another common bias is confirmation bias, where we seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs and ignore information that contradicts them. This can lead to echo chambers, where we surround ourselves with people who think the same way we do and never expose ourselves to different perspectives. Finally, let's talk about framing effects. This is when the way a question or a situation is presented can influence how we think about it and make decisions. For example, a study found that people were more likely to donate money to a charity when the donation was framed as saving lives rather than preventing death. By understanding these biases and errors in judgment, we can start to make more rational decisions in our own lives. We can learn to think more critically about information, consider different perspectives, and avoid being influenced by our emotions. So, if you're interested in learning more about how our brains work and how to make better decisions, then I highly recommend reading Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. It's a fascinating and thought-provoking book that will change the way you think about your own thinking. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more insightful book reviews. See you next time.